Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and gives this video a thumbs up. Chock Chapple of the Golden Bachelorette may be struggling with the notion of moving from Wichita, Kansas to the bustling Big Apple, but after family problems and difficult decisions have driven him and Joan Vassos apart, a shocking family member's homecoming could be the final nail in the NYC coffin. Joan and Chock have been sharing more about their lives together on social media after meeting and getting to know each other on season 1 of The Golden Bachelorette. While they were both interested in going to New York City after the episode aired, it looks that Chock wants to stay in Wichita. In a recent post, Chock revealed that an unexpected family member was paying him a visit, disclosing that he had a dog named Tubbs before appearing on The Golden Bachelorette. While Chock officially still co-owns Tubbs, he had a family friend care for him throughout his time on the show, which he has continued to watch despite his hectic schedule. Chock stated that it's been nice to have some time with Super Tubbs this past week, and that he plans to try out some new supplements for his dog in the future, implying that Tubbs is staying. Although Chock and Joan's relationship has been going well, it's probable that they'll face some difficulties now that the New York City transfer appears to be off the agenda. While the two haven't discussed their living situation in a while, it's evident that Chock is happier in Kansas than anywhere else, even when Joan isn't present. The couple has made every effort to spend time together, but Joan is in charge of travel because Chock has not left his house. Things may get tricky with Chock's dog involved. Chock reintroduced his dog with the enthusiasm of someone eager to be caring for his pet again, and while he made it obvious that someone else in his life is also ready to care for Tubbs, he is back in the picture. This might complicate any move, especially since Chock is unlikely to move his aging dog away from its home. Although Joan wishes to be more flexible in her life, Chock seemed content with staying there and keeping Joan close, especially now that he can have his cat back. Although Chock has been the impediment to Joan's NYC ambitions becoming a reality, it's evident that Kansas is his happy place, and having Tubbs back in his life makes him happy. While Joan has not stated how she feels about Chock, his dog's homecoming, or what this implies for their future, she is undoubtedly pleased to see Chock so happy. Tubbs' comeback comes at an interesting time for the Golden Bachelorette star and his fiancée, as Bachelor Nation eagerly awaits an update on what's next for them and where they're going in the future. When Chock Chapple stepped onto the Golden Bachelorette, few expected him to emerge as one of the most quietly compelling figures in the show's storied history. A retired high school football coach from Wichita, Kansas, Chock's reserved demeanor and unassuming charm made him a favorite among fans who appreciated his grounded, no-nonsense perspective on life and love. Opposite him stood Joan Vassos, a charismatic, big-hearted widow from Maryland with an unmistakable flair for elegance and a well-established life built around cultural sophistication and East Coast ambitions. Their connection on the show was nothing short of electric. Week after week, their chemistry deepened, defying the odds and culminating in a sweeping finale that saw Joan offering Chock a key to her heart and, implicitly, a life in New York City. In the weeks following the finale, the couple became darlings of Bachelor Nation, their social media platforms lit up with glimpses into their blossoming romance. Hand-in-hand strolls, charming banter over breakfast, and selfies taken in cozy Kansas diners and bustling Manhattan cafes suggested a fairy tale in the making. But behind the heart emojis and joint Instagram lives, fissures quietly began to form. While Joan's heart seemed to beat in sync with the fast tempo of New York City, Broadway shows, charity galas, and her grandchildren's soccer games in Brooklyn, Chock's pulse remained steadied by the slow rhythm of Kansas. His roots, deep and firm, were intertwined with the landscape of the Midwest: early morning coffee at the local diner, Sunday services at the same church he'd attended for decades, and long, quiet walks in the field near his property. For a man like Chock, New York represented not adventure but disruption. Joan, however, had never been one to shy away from change. After losing her husband years earlier, she rebuilt her life around growth, community, and reinvention. To her, New York City wasn't just a place, it was a fresh chapter. She envisioned afternoons strolling through Central Park, evenings at Lincoln Center, and mornings spent writing in a cozy Manhattan apartment with Chock by her side. But as winter faded and spring unfurled its blossoms, the anticipated move to NYC stalled. The couple, who had previously teased big life changes ahead, went silent on the topic of relocation. Their social media posts shifted from joint escapades to more personal snapshots, Joan with her grandkids and friends, Chock with his garden and, in a surprising twist, his dog Tubbs. The revelation of Tubbs came via a casual Facebook post that set off waves of speculation among fans. Reunited with Super Tubbs this past week, Chock wrote beneath a picture of him lounging in the backyard with a large, graying Labrador mix sprawled across his lap. Didn't realize how much I missed him until he jumped into my arms. In a follow-up video, Chock elaborated, I got Tubbs years before the show. When I left to film The Golden Bachelorette, my old buddy Dan took care of him. Dan's had a few life changes himself, so Tubbs came back home. It's been grounding. The emotional undercurrent of the reunion was clear. Tubbs wasn't just a pet, he was family. For a man whose identity was tethered to loyalty and familiarity, the return of Tubbs was both comforting and complicating. In an offhand remark during a local radio interview, Chock mused, I can't exactly picture Tubbs in a high-rise apartment. He's a Kansas dog. Heck, I'm a Kansas man. Though Joan had supported Chock in his care for Tubbs, even sending over specialty dog treats from New York, the undertones of the situation were undeniable. Chock was, consciously or not, re-establishing his life in Wichita. The garden he had let overgrow while filming was once again thriving. He picked up a part-time job coaching Pee-wee football. His sister, long estranged, had returned to Kansas to reconcile and stay for a while. And with Tubbs back, Chock's household felt complete. Meanwhile, Joan found herself in limbo. A planner by nature, she had tentatively begun apartment hunting in Manhattan, believing that Chock would eventually follow. But as days turned into weeks and weeks into months, her optimism dulled. Her Instagram captions took on a tone of vague longing. Sometimes, the best things in life require patience, read one. Another, beneath a selfie at the Met Museum, simply said, still believing in the dream. Sources close to the couple suggest that while love remained, the logistics of life had begun to cloud their connection. Joan was never going to pressure Chock, said a longtime friend of Joan's. She respects him too much for that. But she's also not going to put her dreams on pause indefinitely. Likewise, those close to Chock noted his struggle. He loves Joan, no doubt about that, said Dan, Tubbs' former caretaker. But asking him to leave Kansas is like asking him to leave behind who he is. Thanks for watching. If you likes this video, do not forget to subscribe my channel and do not miss any update.